Hei alle mine søte lille norske studenter. Hi all my sweet little Norwegian students. Guess who's back? Did you miss me? I know you did, and I would like to apologize for having neglected all of you. That was cruel, and I shall try to not do it again, at least not for quite so long. To be perfectly honest, my YouTube account somehow got hooked up with an email account that I never ever used, so up until a few weeks ago I really had no idea that my video had gotten so many views and comments, and so once again I apologize for leaving you all hanging. I made that first video for my old roommate, that's right Caldwell, I'm talking to you. He promised me that if I made a Learn Norwegian video that he would learn my beautiful language and we could speak it together, but he never really did, though it seems that some of you did, so I shall be continuing my lessons now. If not every week, then I'll at least try to post a video a month or something of the sort. I guess I will start by answering some questions or replying to some comments that were left on the last video. So I saw that there was some debate in the comments as to whether or not I am Norwegian, and you're all right. I am Norwegian, but I'm also not Norwegian, I guess. I do have dual citizenship, but I was born and raised in the States on Long Island, for you little missy who thought I'd never been to Long Island in my life. I was born and raised on Long Island, but my mother is Norwegian, and so she always spoke Norwegian to me growing up, and I spend 2 to 3 months in Norway every summer, and so I learned, and since making the first video, I have actually moved to Norway. So I'm now broadcasting live from my lovely new apartment in Oslo. Some people were also wondering if what I am teaching is bokmål or nynorsk, and for those of you who don't know, there are actually two separate languages that are classified as Norwegian. One is bokmål and the other is called nynorsk. Bokmål is definitely the more prevalent of the two, and it's what is spoken in the capital of Oslo, where I live and where my mom grew up. So that is what I'm speaking, bokmål. And also in terms of which dialect I speak kind of the average traditional Oslo dialect that they'll understand pretty much everywhere. For those who don't know, there are a ridiculous, retarded number of dialects in Norway. I think it's because they were all so isolated from back in the day, you know, with the mountains and the, you know, geographically, people were so isolated that everyone kind of has their own spin on the language. So there are literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different dialects. So some of them are kind of hard to understand. When I was little, I definitely had trouble understanding a lot of them. It's better now, but yeah. Another question was about an versus et in terms of in front of a noun. You know, a book, a house, whatever. And the answer to that is that sometimes you use an and sometimes you use et. And it really just depends on the noun. Each one has its own, it's kind of like French, you know, they have on, une, meaning masculine and feminine in front of their nouns. And it really sucks, it's irritating, but it's one of those things that you just have to learn. Something else that's pretty unique about Norwegian is the way that we go from a to the in our articles, you know, saying the house instead of a house. Would be by moving the article, the an or the et, to the end of the word. So for example, I can say en bok, which is a book. Or if I want to say the book, it becomes boken. The en gets moved to the end of the word. And the same thing with et, I can say et hus, which means a house. Or if I want to say the house, I say huset. The et gets moved to the end of the word. And for some reason, when they do it with et, the t becomes silent. So I wouldn't say huset, I say huset. Huset. I don't know why they do that. They just kind of do. People had some really good suggestions. In the last video, I had trouble finding a good analogy for the letter in terms of something in English. And someone suggested as an early, which I think is very good. As an earl or early. I also had a question of somebody asking me to compare the sounds of the letter A versus the letter A. And in Norwegian, if you learn the alphabet, and I really suggest that you spend some time doing it because most letters make the sound of their name. So the letter A in Norwegian is said A, and so it makes the sound A. And the letter A makes the sound A. So it's A versus A. Everybody say it with me now. A, A. A, A. Good job. Alright, now let's get started with lesson number 2. I will start with numbers. Last time we did 0 to 10, so this time we will do 11 to 20. So it's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, or 20. There's two separate ways to say 20. Again, just pick one and learn it. It all works. You can say either 20 or 20. So I'll repeat that one more time for you. We have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, or 20. Right, so I suggest memorize those. Make sure you're really good and solid on those ones, and we will continue with numbers next time. Now, in Norway, as in most other civilized countries, manners are quite important. So next I will teach you your pleases and thank yous and other polite phrases that you should know when you visit Norway. So I guess we will start with please, which in Norwegian is vær så snill. Vær så snill, which is three separate words, literally means be so kind. Vær så snill. And thank you is very simple. It's takk. Takk. Or you can say tusen takk, which literally means 1,000 thanks. Another thing that's common to say in Norwegian after a meal is takk for maten, which literally means thank you for the food. Now you say this, if someone has cooked a meal for you, if someone paid for your meal, or really it's something you can say anyways, just means thank you for a pleasant meal together. You're welcome is vær så god. Vær så god, which literally means be so good. Good morning in Norwegian is god morgen. God morgen. Now it's spelled like morgen, which only like 80-year-olds still say it that way. It is spelled that way, and it's kind of an old-fashioned way to say god morgen, but nobody really says that anymore. It's been kind of slangified. Is that a word? It's been slangified into morgen, god morgen, which really is not slang anymore. It's just what people say. And good afternoon is god ettermiddag. Good evening is god kveld. And good night is god natt. God natt. Or you can say natta, also means good night. It's kind of, the slangified version of good night. Natta. If you'd like to ask somebody how old they are, you say hvor gammel er du? And the response would then be jeg er. Insert your age here. Another common thing to say in Norway when you see somebody that you know is takk for sist, which means thanks for last. Thanks for last time is what they mean. Thanks for last time we were together. It's kind of a common thing to say. Generally, when you say hello to someone, you either say hei, hyggelig, or hei, takk for sist. Kind of just how it works. And goodbye is ha det bra. Ha det bra, which literally means have it good. Ha det bra. Or you can leave out the bra and just say ha det. Ha det. Now, I don't know if this will help you guys remember that, but my American friends often, when they hear me speak on the phone with my mother and I would say goodbye, I'd say holla, and then I'd hang up the phone and everybody would go holla. So maybe that will help you remember. Now, as I mentioned in the last video, Norwegian verbs are not conjugated, so you don't have to learn that whole messy, nasty thing. If you've ever learned another language, almost all other languages have verb conjugations, but not Norwegian, because we're the best. So when you learn a noun, it's very easy to use it, whether you want to say I, you, he, she, it, we, they, y'all, whatever. It's the same exact form of it. So first, I guess I'll teach you the pronouns that we use. So singular, first, second, and third person, you have jeg is I, du is you, han is he, hun is she, and it is either den or det, depending on the it that you're speaking of, if it's a word that gets an n or an et. If it's an et word, it's det, or if it's an n word, it's den. Your first, second, and third person plural pronouns are vi is we, very similar to the English. Dere is y'all, and de is they. Next, I will teach you some verbs and how to use them. In English, the infinitive form of a verb would be, for example, to like. Very similar in Norwegian, we have å like, to like, the infinitive. And so if you now want to use that verb with a pronoun, For example, to say I like, you just add an R to the end. Very simple. Infinitive, å like, or you could say jeg liker, I like, du liker, han liker, hun liker, vi liker, dere liker, de liker. Same for all of them. I like, you like, we like, they like, and so on. Most Norwegian nouns follow this rule. There are, of course, some that don't, but here I will teach you a bunch that do. So we have å like is to like, å gå is to go or to walk, can be used for either one. Å smile is to smile. Å forberede is to prepare. Å slikke is to lick. Å slikke. Å le means to laugh. Å mobbe means to make fun of. Å kysse is to kiss. Å elske is to love. However, in Norwegian, we have two different ways to say I love you. Å elske is what you would say to somebody that you are in love with. It's a really strong way of saying that you love somebody. You really, really love them. It's jeg elsker deg. And then we have something else which is kind of more what you would say to your friends or to your family. You would say jeg glad i deg. Jeg glad i deg. Which literally means I am happy in you. And don't make it dirty because this is not the dirty version. This is the good, clean, mommy, I love you. Couple verbs that don't follow the rule are, for example, å gjøre, which means to do. For this one, instead of adding an R, you drop the E. So you have å gjøre, the infinitive, or you would say jeg gjør, du gjør, han gjør, hun gjør, and so on. And another one that doesn't quite follow the rule is å være, the verb to be. The infinitive, as I said, is å være, but the form that you use with pronouns is which though it sounds like it should have an it doesn't. Exception again, it uses an E, it's spelled ER, but it's pronounced and you would say jeg hun han which is I am, you are, and so on. Now I will round off the lesson with some nouns and some sentences. So here you have your nouns, which you need to memorize whether it gets an or et if you want to sound like you really know what you're doing when you speak Norwegian, which is important. So here we go with some nouns. We have en ball is a ball, and you'll see that many of them are very similar to English. Obviously, ball could not be more similar. En ball, et hus is a house. Et måltid is a meal. En dør is a door. En lampe is a lamp. En bok is a book. Et glass is a glass. En sang is a song. En blomst is a flower. Et maleri is a painting. And et kjøkken, kitchen. Now, that sound, that KJ sound, is a very difficult sound. I think it's the one thing that my mother still hounds me. I don't always say it well, but it's not really a shh, like, you know, shut your face. It's more of a shh, 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 which is a sound that we really don't have in English. And so a friend of mine suggested always putting an H in front of it, like shh, kind of helps you to get the sound right. No one will judge you. I still do it wrong. It's kind of the only thing that I don't do perfectly, but people can't really hear anyways that I'm not Norwegian, so you can get away with it. Now let's use some of the words we just learned in some sentences. Skal vi gå tur i skogen? Shall we go for a walk in the woods? Skal vi gå tur i skogen? Skru på lampen. Turn on the lamp. Skru på lampen. For et fantastisk måltid. What a fantastic meal. For et fantastisk måltid. Hvorfor smiler du ikke? Why aren't you smiling? Hvorfor smiler du ikke? Han flink til å kysse. He's a good kisser, or literally what I'm saying is he is good at kissing. Han flink til å kysse. Du får meg alltid til å le. You always make me laugh. Du får meg alltid til å le. Han forbereder et måltid til oss. He is making a meal for us. Han forbereder et måltid til oss. Det et lekkert maleri. That is a beautiful painting. Det et lekkert maleri. Kan ikke du synge oss en sang? Can't you sing us a song? Kan ikke du synge oss en sang? I hope that was all useful and helpful and fun at the same time for all of you. And finally, for this lesson, I will leave you with your bonus word. Now, this is a word that I only recently learned myself. I started cracking up hysterically when a friend of mine used this word, and I cannot believe that he himself had never really thought to break it down and think about what it actually was saying, and it is the Norwegian word for tadpole. In Norwegian, a tadpole is called rumpetroll. That's right. Rumpetroll. You know what? I actually am not sure if it's en rumpetroll or et rumpetroll. I'm leaning towards et, but I don't know for sure. I will research that for next time, actually. But if you break it down, rumpe means butt. That's right, like what you sit on. And troll means troll. So yeah, in Norway, tadpoles are called butt trolls, rumpetroll. I'll leave you to contemplate that one. Ha det bra!